running an agency is one of the worst things that any smart person can experience, because the better you get, the more you suffer. You understand that? The better you get, the bigger you get, the more you suffer. Suffer margins, suffer your peace, suffer your health. Everything suffers because at scale, you're spending more time managing the chaos than actually focusing on the thing that makes you money. So when AI hit the scene, I was like, wow, am I going to be able to put all my playbook into an AI system and have that AI system be able to fulfill and, maybe fire my entire team and have AI fulfill for all of my clients, where I can just do content, yap for a living, and then go buy more Porsche GT3s. Well, it's 4 years later, and no agency owner is fully operating under the lens of that reality. Why is that? I wanted to make this video to talk about it because I believe we've been able to solve it. And before I tell you how we've been able to solve it and how we've literally solving it allowed us to add an extra $1 million in 5 weeks in new revenue in a business model that would never in a million years be able to handle that level of growth in such a short period of time, I need to tell you why it's currently not possible. Regardless of how Anthropic's model, Opus 4.6, is changing everything about vibe coding and building solutions and building tools, or their latest version 4.7, or even ChatGPT's latest 5.5 version, the reason why no matter how good they get, you still can't run your agency on top of them is because of one thing and one thing only. And it's the thing that makes them great, which is the hardness. The reason why coding is the biggest use case for AI, well, first of all, is because code is actually something that AI can read easily. Like, that's literally the language of the technology. But the second thing that no one talks about is the harness. They've spent so much time building a system that allows you to harness the technology infinitely better for coding. They started with coding because unlike agency services like marketing, advertising, sales, the outcome is never consistent when you're doing services, when you're doing knowledge work, when you're dealing with humans. But when it comes to coding, it's a little different. The outcome is predictable. So all these frontier models, or even companies like Cursor, Google, focus all of their efforts in trying to automate an engineer. And by automating an engineer, it literally allows you to have AI write itself. Hence why today, vibe coding is the most popular thing ever. But everybody that I know who's currently vibe coding tools and solutions is currently going broke, because anything that AI can vibe code is worth nothing. And the way that I know that it's worth nothing is because at our company, TryCook AI, we're seeing some amazing founders releasing some of the best architecture when it comes to AI, and they're making them open source and making them free. Why? Because the tool itself is worthless unless you bring the context and you force a user to learn how to use the machine enough for them to build workflows that actually deliver value in their business. And the third reason, which makes this even more annoying, is the fact that yes, you can build skills, you can build workflows. ChatGPT just released Agent Workspace, where you can essentially build agents that you can talk to on Slack. That's not useful for me. I want to build them so then I can rent them out to my clients. So this leads to every agency owner, every person that I know who's a knowledge worker, building these little agents on top of Claude, on top of ChatGPT, that they give to their team so that they can use it to fulfill. But what that leads to is you're stuck in the same bottleneck, unscalable business model, which is the human is still the bottleneck. Just because they have an AI that writes the copy for the funnel does not mean that the business is suddenly going to become scalable, because the human is using the tool. The tool is not doing the work on its own. And that is why no amount of leverage, no amount of progress that is being made right now from all these frontier models is leading to any value in our day to day. It's just making us faster at doing the things that do not move the needle in our businesses. Once I realized that this was the real issue, which is the lack of a harness that allows someone who's a knowledge worker, an agency owner, to build a structure that allows you to have AI be able to deliver the same quality of work, understand all the little nuances that you would understand in your day-to-day, And also understanding that the system has to have context about my clients' businesses and my business. And the last piece, allow you to be able to build these agents, not so that you can use them just in your own internal processes, but so that you can actually rent them out to your clients. I realized that the only solution and the path forward to actually being able to harness this technology, instead of spending another 4 years wasting your time in an unscalable business, was to rebuild the entire stack. And what that stack looks like is you need to be able to onboard clients. You need to be able to build recipes, workflows around how you do the work. Literally show an agent your screen, let it see how you do work, let it build skills, workflows that you turn into recipes and that you turn into routines that happen every single day at the same time every week. Just like you run a specific workflow managing clients or managing your own business, get these agents to run the same workflow and routine. And what's even better is that you can get these agents to consume content and learn on your behalf. Find the top creators, find the top sources of information, let agents consume and synthesize information on your behalf, and let it improve your playbook of your business without you having to be the bottleneck of getting smarter. When you want to learn how to run a specific funnel, you have to go buy a course. When you have to learn how to ramp up a sales team, you have to go buy a remote sales team ramp up course or program, right? No, that's the old playbook. Get agents to go scorch the entire internet and find you the best playbook from the top people. Once you can solve the rate of learning, the rate of execution, because agents learn for you and execute for you. But the third thing, once you can allow this loop to compound, because it creates data, because when agents go through the loop of learning and execution, it creates new output that it actually stores and learns and creates new context from. It is actually able to improve the playbook, the recipes, and the process that it follows to actually get results for your clients. Meaning your clients will get more value as the agents keep on doing work for them without needing you in the freaking loop. That's what I've been racing towards, because I'm simply tired of seeing all these billion-dollar companies, or even companies like GHL, which solved this problem amazingly in the old paradigm where you had to actually onboard a client and use a software for every single process that you would need in your agency. I'm like, why are they not solving it for the AI era? I would love to just jump on GHL, onboard clients into multiple sub-accounts, and have agents in each workspace know their context, know their business, build their funnels, run their ads without me having to be in the loop. But why is it still that it's a deterministic platform that you have to build workflows and you have to figure out 50 different integrations, connect calendars, A2P verifications, all this bullshit nonsense that has nothing to do with the actual real work? It's just entropy managing systems that do not make you more money. I do not understand how these companies are still not seeing where the world is going. And I just realized that, you know what? Maybe this is my opportunity to actually contribute to the game in ways that I never fathomed of actually being able to contribute. And that's what TryCook AI has essentially became. We believe that we're building the harness that will allow every single agency owner, every single consultant, every single knowledge worker to be able to package their expertise, their business logic into a platform that has your context and your client's context. You literally create sub-accounts for each business that you're working with, onboard clients, connect all their assets, Ads Manager, Google Drive, literally have a centralized file system. We got this insight from Jack Dorsey because he was talking about the only way that AI actually does amazing work is if you centralize all the context so that they know what's happening in every single function of the business. Built that. And then the last piece is build AI employees. Instead of hiring a media buyer, build an AI agent that focuses on media buying. Instead of going to hire a contractor who takes care of your funnel, building websites for your clients, build a recipe around building the best websites and best funnels and give it access to an AI employee. So when you create a new workspace with a new client, you onboard them, give all the context, it just goes ahead and gets done. And of course, we didn't get here at first. We first started by automating clientacquisition.io, right? Which allowed us to be able to see how you can take your business logic, give it access to agent, and have it do the work better than any person in your company can. Because unlike humans, these agents do not sleep, and they have access to all the skills and the tools that a human might not even know how to use. They know how to use it right there and then. This is the problem that I've personally been working on. It's been keeping me up at night because I know that if solved, changes the entire game. And if you guys are operating agencies and you guys realize that having more tools that you give access to your team does not scale your business, if you've came to the same realization that I have, then I'd like to walk you through what we've built. I'm going to be doing a workshop where I essentially walk through how we've essentially been able to transform client acquisition.io into an AI native operation where agents fulfill. Agents have all the context around our client's business and our own business. If you have existing processes, how you can go through the same transformation that we went through. If you already have proven processes, you have clients, you know how to get them results, and your biggest bottleneck is the fact that you cannot scale yourself without losing margins and without losing the quality of the work that you deliver to your clients. If you want to enter an AI native agency model, then please click the link below. I'd love to walk you through what we've been cooking, and once you see it, you can't not unsee it. Because if you're a natural born leader like me, where you know what it takes to scale, but your biggest issue was that scaling depended on other people, then this is the best time to be an entrepreneur, and you're gonna love what we've been cooking. Click the link below, see you on the workshop or in the next video. Ciao. I'm about to go cook.